Hello, I'm Merrick Masters. Welcome to today's episode. The headline behind this episode is President Trump's liberation tariffs announced on April the 2nd of this year have been invalidated by a U.S. trade court. The Court of International Trade, which was established in 1980 and has precursors involved from previous legislation, lies behind the ongoing politics of tariffs and of trade. The court ruled that the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which President Trump invoked to impose these so-called retaliatory tariffs, did not give him the authority to do so. It stated, in effect, that the legislation, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, does not confer such unbounded authority, and as a result, the court is setting aside the challenged tariff imposed thereunder. The U.S. Court of International Trade has 9 members, which are appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. It was created by legislation that sprang and evolved from recurring disputes over trade and the use of various powers of government to impose tariffs since the founding of the country. The court has broad subject matter jurisdiction, and an attorney that was involved in litigating the dispute, which led to the court's ruling, stated in a recent online statement that all of Trump's tariffs adopted under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act are invalidated as beyond the scope of executive power, and their implementation is blocked by a permanent injunction. However, as reported by Goldman Sachs in this article, the Trump administration is appealing the decision, and it has alternative statutory means available, including Section 323 tariffs and 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. President Nixon, it's important to remember, on August the 15th, 1971, took similar action to Trump and imposed a 10% across-the-board tariff increase. And he stated in a nationwide address to the country on the same date that I am taking one further step to protect the dollar, to improve our balance of payments, and to increase jobs for Americans. As a temporary measure, he said, I am today imposing an additional tax of 10% on goods imported into the United States. In a proclamation he issued on the same day to justify such a decision, he invoked several pieces of statutory law to invoke this 10% increase in tariffs. A precursor to the United States Court of International Trade ruled at that time over disputes about President Nixon's actions that he had the authority to do so. Here's a little bit about me. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Stay tuned for more information about the ongoing politics of trade and tariffs. Have a good day.